right? Another little Queen doc, The Untold Truth of Queen Guitarist Brian May. Yeah, let's go.
World-renowned rock star, reluctant hair icon, 3D photography-loving astrophysicist? While you might be familiar with his killer tunes, there's a lot more to Queen's guitarist than even his biggest fans might realize. This is the untold truth of Brian May. Brian May is rightly most famous for his guitar skills, but his second best-known feature is his mane of curly hair. However, he has mixed feelings about his iconic locks. In a 1998 interview with Q Magazine, May admitted, "Sometimes I wish I had a paper bag over my head and people just listen to the music. I do think I'm in danger of becoming a prisoner of my own hair." May explained that although he's considered getting his hair cut for that very reason, he likes it because it's unfashionable. He also enjoys upending people's assumptions, telling Q, "People that aren't into Queen see me and immediately assume that because I look this way, I can't have anything relevant to say about their lives. And I like to surprise them by proving that it's not the case." Given that he's been dealing with hair-related comments since the mid-70s, it's understandable that Brian May gets grumpy when people bring it up. Even fellow British rock icons. In 2007, Madness singer Suggs made a joke about May and his second wife Anita Dobson's similar curly hairstyles. May didn't see the funny side. On his website, he called the joke sad and old, adding, "Ha freaking ha, how disappointing people can be." That's Dr. Brian May, thank you. While honing his natural talents as a musician, in 1965, May landed a place on the undergraduate astrophysics course at Imperial College London, where he earned a bachelor's degree. He then started working on a PhD in astrophysics, also finding time to join several bands, one of which eventually became the original lineup of Queen. In 1971, the band was going well enough that May put his PhD on hold. This caused tension with his dad, who didn't understand his son's musical ambitions. May revealed to The Guardian, "Dad was mortified. He thought I was throwing away my education. But in the end, the pull of the music was too hard to resist." Brian May returned to his Stardust studies eventually, working from what he described at the time as a little office in Imperial College. In 2007, he completed his thesis titled A Survey of Radial Velocities in the Zodiacal Dust Cloud and officially received his doctoral degree from Imperial. Queen was not Brian May's first rock and roll rodeo. While studying at Imperial College London in the mid-60s, May played in a cover band called 1984, alongside bassist Tim Staffel. The pair formed their own band, Smile, in 1968, and recruited reluctant dentistry student/enthusiastic drummer Roger Taylor. Freddie Mercury, then going by Fred Bulsara, was a Smile fan who became a friend of the band, and then Taylor and May's housemate. He and Taylor even ran a market stall together. Mercury was a regular at Smile gigs. Brian May recalled that he would come up to the band after shows to give them feedback about their performance, specifically their image. According to Rolling Stone, he would shout from the crowd, "If I was your singer, I'd show you how it was done." Mercury got his chance when Staffel quit. As May remembered in an interview on British TV, the group broke up and Freddie said, "I can sing." We tried it out and by God, he could sing. And he played amazing piano. In April 1970, May, Taylor, and Mercury regrouped into a new band, recruiting bassist John Deacon in 1971. Brian May has mostly left the wilder parts of his rock star days behind him, but even his gentler lifestyle has left him needing medical attention. On May 6, 2020, he revealed on Instagram that a couple of days earlier, "I managed to rip my gluteus maximus to shreds in a moment of overenthusiastic gardening." The injury turned out to be worse than May and his doctors thought. In a later Instagram video, he said that a week after the accident, he was still in agonizing back pain.
Now, a week later, I'm still in agony. I mean, real agony. I wanted to jump at some points. I could not believe the pain.
Another MRI revealed that he had a quite severely compressed sciatic nerve, which he received treatment for. May clarified, "I'm a lot better now. I'm actually free of that terrible pain." During all this, Brian May had what he described
I think that's the greatest line I think I've ever heard. Over-enthusiastic gardening.
as a small heart attack, saying in the Instagram post, "It's not something that did me any harm." May went on to explain that he experienced chest pains and tightness, a sensation in the arms, and sweating, common heart attack symptoms, for about 40 minutes. It was determined that he had 3 blocked arteries. He passed on open heart surgery, instead having 3 stents put in. He said he's back on form and thanked the doctors who operated on him from the bottom of my heart. Literally. In March 1974, Queen released their second album, Queen II, and headlined their first UK tour. They also started to look for success outside the UK. They were booed off stage at their first international gig in Australia, but found a warmer welcome in America, touring in support of Mott the Hoople. Their first American gig was in Denver, Colorado, in April. But just a month later, Brian May fell seriously ill with hepatitis. Queen pulled out of the rest of the tour, while May was repatriated back to England to recover. The guitarist said he felt that he had let the band down during their important Win Over America tour, and set to work writing from his hospital bed. And he wasn't out of the woods yet. After spending 6 weeks recovering, Brian May eagerly rejoined his bandmates in the studio, only to get sick again, this time with a stomach ulcer. By the time he got back to work, he felt disconnected, in a good way. May recalled to Louder, "It was very weird because I was able to see the group from the outside and was pretty excited by what I saw." Learning the true stories behind popular Queen songs makes fans love them even more. And the story of We Will Rock You is especially heartwarming because Brian May wrote it specifically to get the audience involved. He told Billboard that he had loved watching Queen's audience sing along with the
I think that Queen songs have that. Like most of them, I think have that. I always thought that from listening to them and reacting to them, that their songs are meant to be played in front of an audience. Like they're wrote with an audience in mind, always, instead of just writing how you kind of feel. But yeah, let's go.
band at a gig in Bingley Hall, near Birmingham, UK, something that was considered uncool among serious rock fans at the time. He wanted to embrace that participation by creating a song in which the audience could lead the band by stomping their feet and clapping. May was also inspired by playing in the Boston Garden, a since-demolished arena in Boston, Massachusetts, which had a wooden floor and ceilings that exaggerated every sound the audience made. May told Billboard, "I went to sleep and woke up with We Will Rock You in my head." Back in the studio, the band put the song together in a process similar to the scene shown in Bohemian Rhapsody, but with more technical wizardry. Brian May had them stamp on the floorboards and clap, and built up the sound with delays and backing vocals, so that it would sound like a real crowd. You've probably sung along to something that came from Brian May's head, but he's written more than songs. May has authored and co-authored numerous books on a broad range of topics, including the historical dangers of crinoline fabric, his homemade electric guitar, and space. For Bang, A Complete History of the Universe, May teamed up with astrophysicist Chris Lintott and his hero Patrick Moore, presenter of long-running British astronomy TV show The Sky at Night. One of May's more esoteric interests is 3D photography. In 2008, May restarted the London Stereoscopic Company, a once thriving photographic company originally founded in London in 1854, which sold 3D photos and the stereo viewers required to view them. May not only collects these Victorian souvenirs, he takes his own, including some of Queen, which were published in a book in 2019. He's also co-authored a book showing 3D photos of stars, titled Cosmic Clouds 3D, Where Stars Are Born. Another of Brian May's stereoscopic books is a little more out there than space. Diablerie showcases stereoscopic pictures originally published in 19th century France, showing devils engaging in debauched behavior of various kinds.
This is a labor of love.
Music fans know Brian May primarily as a guitarist, rock star, and hair icon. But if he had his way, he'd prefer to be remembered for the work he's done to help protect wildlife. May is an avowed animal lover. He started the Save Me Trust in 2010. The organization works to protect animals in need, especially foxes and badgers, who are at risk of hunting in coals, as well as conserving woodland.
We are Save Me, working to give care where it's needed, but also to give wild animals a voice.
May has been a vocal campaigner against the culling of badgers. In 2019, he stated that he won't play major UK music festival, Glastonbury, because founder Michael Evis supports badger culls. In 2020, May praised the UK government's plan to limit badgers' ability to spread TB through vaccines. He's also taken caring for animals at home to a new level. Brian May has an animal sanctuary, Harper Asprey Wildlife Rescue, on his estate in Surrey, England. The sanctuary nurses sick animals back to health, including hedgehogs, badgers, and owls. May told The Times that watching animals brings him tranquility after his hectic rock star years. He admitted that he understands that people will probably remember him most for Queen, but went on to add, "I would much rather be remembered for attempting to change the way we treat our fellow creatures." Brian May has been open about struggling with depression at various points in his life. One especially
Yeah, the thing is, though, with badgers is badgers are vicious. they are like, you can watch videos of them killing guard dogs. Like, badgers are no joke. Yeah, if you see a badger, run, run. 'Cause you don't know what mood that's going to be in, and it can do serious, serious damage. But yeah, let's go.
Dark time started in 1991 when May's father died, followed soon after by his friend and bandmate Freddie Mercury. Queen had finished, as May put it in the Daily Mail, although the untold truth of Queen is that they never officially split up. Even though they later reunited, at the time, May said it felt like he was losing his family. In 2002, May told The Mirror of this period. "I thought my life was over. I was totally and utterly depressed. It's like you're paralyzed. Even music didn't get to me in the worst moments. Depression would clamp down like a fog." His second wife, actress Anita Dobson, got him through. May told The Mirror, "If I didn't have Anita, all the therapy in the world wouldn't sort me." Although he recovered from that period, Brian May still gets hit with waves of depression sometimes, especially in the holiday season. In an Instagram post from January 2nd, 2020, he wrote, "There's something about this time of the year that paralyzes me. Depression, hopelessness, fear. I get engulfed." It turns out, being a rock star doesn't fix everything. Don't believe disaster movies. The truth is that it's highly unlikely that an asteroid that size is going to collide with the Earth. But Brian May wants us to know that asteroids are a real danger.
I do have a particular personal fascination with asteroids.
In 2014, he co-founded Asteroid Day, which happens annually on June 30th, to promote awareness of objects that are coming perilously close to Earth. May is not totally anti-asteroid, however.
Yeah, I think that's dumb to say that it's a very small chance asteroids will hit the Earth. There's something that's huge. And I think it was December the 22nd, 2021, which was the nearest a huge object come to our planet. And its orbit could collide with it collides with our orbit, but it's just far and basically. I think the nearest, if they don't work out basically how to push it off its course, it's going to destroy the world. But yeah, let's go.
Has one named after him, Asteroid 52665 Brian May. And he's not the only Queen member with a namesake in the heavens. In 2016, May announced that the International Astronomical Union's Minor Planet Center had named an asteroid discovered in 1991, the year of Mercury's death, Asteroid 17473 Freddie Mercury, in honor of what would have been the singer's 70th birthday. Brian May isn't just looking at asteroids, he's taking 3D pictures of them. He was a co-author of a paper published in the scientific journal Nature on May 27, 2020. On Instagram, May explained that he contributed the stereoscopic 3D imagery, along with researcher Claudia Manzoni. Not your average musician's Instagram post from a not-so-average musician.
That was fascinating because there was a load of stuff I didn't know. I'm sure like a lot of the Queenies will have known all of that, but I didn't know he was touchy about his hair. I didn't know he wrote all them books. I didn't know he loved animals. Yeah, there was a lot in that I didn't know about him. I didn't know he suffered with depression. I knew John Deacon did. I think everybody does know in their own way. I think depression is, I think everyone's burdened with it to a certain extent. But that was a good one. That was a good one. But yeah, that's the reaction. Sweet.